Welcome back, Pirate Nation. We are here with our episode 4. We've done this is now our 4th episode. I think we're making it big time. I'm gonna have to check the stats though. Of Inside Crandall ISD, where we're checking in on all departments, really digging deep, getting your questions answered, but really just to be transparent about what our goals are, what our things for kids, all the things that we want everyone to know for our students, for our community, for our parents. This last one, we're here with Keith and Eric again. They are over our security department, and Keith Chapman, he is our executive director of emergency operations and security management, and that is 4 episodes in a row that I have got your long title correct. And Eric Covington, he's our district security specialist. So I'm going to talk with what you're wearing. So if you can't see them, they are wearing, it says security, it's a bulletproof vest, and then also you have a big firearm on the side of you. Will you tell me why you are wearing that?
The district, obviously, with the change in legislation requiring a weapon on every campus, our board and our senior staff recognize that we have a great police department, but sometimes people are out sick. Sometimes they have to be trained or have training that they have to go to. So we wanted to make sure we are compliant and have a weapon on every campus. So they recognized that Eric and I had the abilities and decided that they wanted to arm our security department, which is well within their authority as the Board of Education. And so we're here to supplement our police department. We are not police officers. We are strictly armed security officers who have been trained, and you'll probably ask me about that, who are trained to respond to an armed person on a campus if we are there.
Well, and Eric, you were doing that this morning, correct? We had an officer that was coming in late, and so we made sure that we had an armed person at that campus. Okay. Because y'all do that in 7. I know there was a time y'all were both at a campus all the time because we had people out. But we do have a Crandall ISD police officer stationed on a daily routine at every campus.
Absolutely.
How do y'all collaborate with our CISD police, our local police, EMS, our emergency response teams? How do y'all collaborate with all of them?
The relationship that we have with our CISD PD, I mean, they bring us in on everything. Mm-hmm. So their trainings that when they go range qualifying, they're including us. So even though we're not police, we feel like we're part of their family because they want us to have the same training because we may have to respond just like them. When it comes to the local, I mean, they give us looks sometimes in the stores, especially if they don't know us, because they're like, but they know we work for Crandall ISD, so they kind of leave us alone. But I know they know we're there to help. And
we also, with them, from our security role, we provide them our floor plans, we provide them with access cards and keys, we provide them opportunities to come visit our campuses so they can be familiar with our campuses. We also communicated prior to doing this all the information to them as part of our Guardian program, so that when they see us, when I have to go to the sheriff's department and they see me, they go, oh, that's the guy from Crandall. Because the Guardian program, we wear vests, but a lot of school districts, I know Kemp ISD has a Guardian program, but their folks don't dress like this. They wear their weapons concealed. Mm-hmm. So it can be done many ways. We've just chosen to do it this way, so when police officer is not at a campus, the staff can see Eric or I there and they feel like, oh, okay, we're still protected.
Well, and I think that makes the students feel safe too, because you know that that's happening. You kind of talked about that, but if you wanted to add anything on the joint training or coordination, you talked about y'all go to the gun ranges, right, together?
Right. We did, so far with our police department, we've been to, you have to meet a minimum standard of range qualification. You have to be able to hit the target so many times. And then we did just this, after Christmas break, we had a Navy SEAL come in and we did room clearing, and then we went out to the range and did some tactical shooting with both rifles and pistols. So it is a partnership. They need to feel comfortable that we have their back, that we're, you know, they're the security guys. How are they trained? Well, it really is good when you understand the person beside you, whether they're wearing a security vest or a police officer's vest, that they know what they're doing. And if something happens, as a matter of fact, as an example, recently we had a swatting call. You communicated it out, and it was a prank, but we responded with our police officers. I was in the chief's car going to the campus. We jumped out and we went and we cleared the campus how we were trained. And we did everything we were supposed to do, and we were right beside each other, and they knew that we had their back, and we were gonna do, they didn't have to go, hey, y'all go do this, because we train with them and they know what to expect of us.
Yeah. And that's a perfect time to even say, when that's all happening, they are on the front lines and we're kind of sitting back. We try to communicate with parents as best we can and as soon as we can. And for everyone to know, we do actually debrief after those. We like all of our departments are coming and like, this is where we could have done better, this is where I could have done better. And we're all very, I think, very transparent about that as well. So we have security guards that y'all supervise at a couple of our campuses. What campuses are they at, and what is their role during the day?
So our campus security monitors is what we call them. They are at our secondary campuses, the middle school and the high school. We have multiple, one at the middle school, but multiples at the high school. And their job is to support the campus admin staff with student management every day. If they see something, say something. They also check doors. They help with the drills. So they get some basic training in SRP. I know that's the next question. They get some basic training in standard response protocol. Eric spends time with them. You want to tell them what you do with them when you're there with them during the day?
Just explain their roles to them, that they're pretty much there to observe and report. Anything they see, they report it back to the admin staff. Keep the halls clear. I mean, it's a busy job. I mean, it keeps them very, very busy.
Especially if they're walking that whole campus. It's huge at the high school.
Yes.
Do you want to talk more about the training they go through? What does SRP stand for?
The standard response protocol, which is our hold, evacuate, shelter, lockdown, those drills, they have to have an in-depth understanding, because when an emergency happens, besides a lockdown, because they're not armed, they're going to lock down, but they're going to help the students and the staff get to where they need to be in a shelter. They're going to help with the evacuation by checking zones, making sure people get out. Our most recent episode at the high school where we had the bomb threat, our security monitors helped check bags, helped get the students into the pit, and helped throughout that whole process. And then when we brought all those kids back in, helped them get back in and made sure the halls were cleared and they were back in the classrooms.
And I think a question I've heard, and I've even been asked, what is the difference between y'all's team, safety and security, and our police department? And I think the best way I've described it is y'all are a lot of the emergency, I hate to say, you're the prep work.
Exactly.
And then when the time comes, an emergency, like I said, if it does happen, y'all are obviously there to support, especially because you're in the guardian program. But would you define it the same?
Absolutely. Their role is to protect and serve and enforce the laws. Ours is emergency operations and to prepare. We're the preparedness, the mitigation, all the other parts to ensure everybody's ready to go. Now, here's the funny thing. The police department, and they've been through the trainer on the SRP, their role is kind of morphing over into ours to help with beginning of the year training and talking to kids every day, because there's only two of us, but we have one of them on every campus. So they're getting into that role. So we're really one team. We focus on one thing, but we do cross over a lot.
Perfect. So that's what we want.
Yes.
What kind of training? And right now, we'll make this clear, we have y'all 2 guardians. That's what our school's approved. We have 2 for the district, which I think is a great number because y'all can sub in for our police. What kind of training did y'all receive, and what did y'all have to go through?
So the state requires, the penal code 4603 allows a board of trustees to basically tell somebody they're a guardian. Well, the state requires a minimum amount of training, and so we had to go to a school safety certification course, which is a DPS course, and there's a DPS, Department of Public Safety trainer, I know I'm using initials, who does the training. In that training, we have to meet minimum standards with our firearm. We have to be proficient with our firearm, and we not only just aim and point at a target. We do shooting under duress, so we have to shoot and move and shoot and move. And we have to shoot on different types of targets, from regular old circles to hostage targets. And then we do something called force-on-force training, which is active shooter training, where we dress up and put protective gear on, and we're actually shooting projectiles at each other. And we're put in simulations, like an active shooter in a classroom, and there's an armed gunman in, and we have to stop the gunman. So we do that training, plus there's a lot of classroom training, so we're aware of when we can use force, how we can use force, because again, we are not police officers. Our sole purpose is to stop a threat if it happens. That's all we're here for.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for clarifying that. What would you say to someone who has questions about the Guardian program or anything like that?
I think the biggest, and Eric can, he can verify this, as far as the biggest concern we get is, you're a security person and you have a gun, and they're worried about our training, and I think that's the biggest concern. How are you qualified if you're not a police officer? And the DPS, the Department of Public Safety, that instructor, we went to a specific school for this reason, watched us. We had to score in the 90 percentile on everything we did through what I've already explained. And so if I could make people feel better, I want them to know when they see us, they can trust that what we're doing this, and we are qualified to do this. Some people have concerns about weapons in people carrying weapons in the school that aren't police officers. I think that's the most questions I've got. I don't know that we've had any other questions.
No, I mean, I think over the time that we've been here, they've become more like, oh, these guys are just, we're basically a part of the police department, even though we're not police. So they've embraced us. And
Well, you just built that trust.
I think
I feel safer with y'all here.
Well, thank you.
Yes, that's good.
Well, that really wraps up our 4 episodes now, our first 4 episodes. And then we talked about safety and security. Is there anything y'all want to add to anything that we've done over the past 4 episodes?
Just that I'm proud of the team we have at Crandall. Security is not about Eric and Keith. It's not about our police department. It is really about everybody. We've been through a district vulnerability assessment by TEA. And then we've also been through, most recently, our 3-year audits at all our elementary campuses. And the things that they found were really nitpicking. They were small things. You don't have this required sign up. You don't have this required information posted here. It's not, hey, we found 20 doors open, or you're not even meeting the basic standards. It's none of that. And so I'm really proud of our team, our principals, our teachers. They are a very important, as much part of the team as Eric and I are.
Well, I have seen improvement since y'all have been here, and I just appreciate it from, I've been here, like I said, 17 years, and it's just always getting better. So
Awesome.
I appreciate it. So follow us. We will come back with more episodes. I believe we're diving into a little bit of education on our next episode with Miss Leslie Harrell, who is over our pre-K, early childhood. So quite a bit difference from safety and security. But follow us on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. We're on all the places, and we appreciate you all your time.
Thank you.